100? 500? 1,000? How many assessments have I given over the years where this was what I saw? I'm guilty of giving more than my share of unimaginative quizzes and tests, and I recently decided that it was time to be more engaging. I decided to use Google Suite to help me adapt my traditional assessments into learning activities where students would be more engaged, and so far I have seen terrific results. I found that using Google Forms helps me create interesting yet easy to assess activities that students enjoy. You might need to give the occasional traditional assessment. We can challenge our students to do more than simply fill in circles, however. What if we based our assessments on what they create and not what they regurgitate? Simple changes in assessments can help students of all ability levels achieve more and become excited about learning. Give students a problem, any kind of problem, and they will be more engaged, more interested, and more likely to prove they can do well. I used this mindset when creating my new assessments. I didn't want them just repeating back to me what I had said. I wanted them acting, creating, and thinking critically. When students hand in all kinds of projects, however, teachers can become overloaded with work and with grading. I wanted something that would challenge my students and have them creating, but also something that I could access and grade simply without carrying home hundreds of papers or projects. Google Forms became the answer. One thing I had to keep in mind while moving to Google Forms was that technology can simply mask stale assessments. If I really wanted to change up my assessment game, I needed to change the kinds of assessments I gave. I used to give standard question and answer quizzes and tests. Now, I wanted students using what they learned to show me they could produce the types of literature we had studied. Forms offer so much flexibility, it is ideal for teachers who want to add multimedia into their assessments. I quickly and easily had students reading not just questions, but working with pictures and videos as well, and I found I was reaching more kinds of learners by doing this. Conveniently for teachers, data entered into a Google form is stored automatically in a Google Sheet, so the teacher has access to all student work in one place from any device with internet access. This alleviates the need to carry around stacks of papers, and turnaround time grading their assessments has been drastically reduced. Students can see faster their strengths and where they need to improve, well before they forget all about the lesson. Connecting a Google form to Google Classroom gives me even more options. Using Classroom to hand out assessments saves reams of paper every year. Students can access their assessments via iPad or other connected device. Teachers can assign every member of a class the same assignment, or they can even assign specific students specific assessments. This is especially helpful when working with students with accommodations who may do better with one sort of assessment over another. One example of an alternative and engaging assessment would be my kenning challenge. For this assessment, I take the following steps. First, students and I discuss the definition of a kenning. A kenning is an Anglo-Saxon descriptive device that takes common nouns and makes them more vivid two-word phrases. One example we use is an ocean. As a kenning, ocean becomes whale's path. The goal of this assessment changes from student understanding of the definition of a kenning to students producing kennings on their own. I'm also able to get students moving around the classroom, have them use technology, and actively enjoy learning about this archaic literary device. Next, I put QR codes around a specific area of campus. Students must find at least 2 of these QR codes on everyday objects. The students must scan each code to open a Google form. For my assessments, the form that opens asks them to create a kenning describing what they scanned. The Google form saves their kennings in a Google Sheet after the student clicks Submit. Now you could adapt this type of assessment to any subject. For example, you could take a science trek around campus. Teachers could add QR codes to trees and plants that open Google Docs with information about that life form. At the bottom of the doc could be a link to a question that students have to answer based on their learning. You could also make scavenger hunts where checking in with QR codes advances the quest. QR codes combined with forms are incredibly adaptive and powerful. The QR code part of the kenning challenge takes 15 minutes. Finally, they get to vote on the best, most creative kennings. Students are engaged not only in the creation of their own kennings, but they love seeing what other students come up with. The most fun, engaging part of this for me is watching them try to impress their classmates with their writing, so they get voted the best one. To me, this is so much better than short answers or multiple choice.
I often find myself doing better on assessments when it's something like a project, because for me as a student, I like being more involved with the project, whereas just sitting down with a piece of paper and a pen or pencil and trying to regurgitate information. When a teacher gives me the time to collect all my thoughts and put together a project, I definitely see greater improvement in my scores.
After reviewing my old assessments, I found that having students show me what they learned instead of telling me helps students of all ability levels achieve more. Using Google Forms, QR codes, Google Sheets, and student devices, you can let students be more creative, more active, and have more fun, all while learning about something that some students may not find especially exciting. Creating alternative assessments also aids teachers. Students are more engaged, all their work is collected together automatically in a Google Sheet, and making comments is simple in a shared document. The possibilities are endless. Try your own out and see what happens.